Let us begin with stillness. Let us allow the noise of the world to fall away for a moment and rest here, in this quiet space, in this gentle breath, in this present moment. We come as we are, with all that we carry, with all that weighs on us, with all that fills our hearts. We come without pretense, without performance, simply as ourselves, seeking a few moments of peace before the day unfolds. We are grateful this morning for the gift of breath, for the steady rhythm of life moving through us, for the simple fact that we are here, awake, aware, able to pause and reflect. We give thanks for the light that greets us, for the possibility held in each new beginning, for the chance to meet this day with intention and care. We are grateful for rest, for the renewal that comes in sleep, for the quiet work of healing and restoring that happens when we lay down our burdens, even briefly. We give thanks for the people we hold close, for those who know us well, for the presence of others in our lives, even when connection feels difficult or distant. We are thankful for shelter and safety, for the small comforts we often overlook, for the ordinary grace of warmth and nourishment and a place to belong. As we step into this day, we acknowledge that we do not always see clearly. We do not always know what is true, what is right, what is needed. We walk through our hours with partial vision, with limited understanding, with assumptions we mistake for certainty. Help us to hold our own perspectives lightly. Help us to recognize how much we do not know, how easily we can be mistaken, how often we confuse our opinions with universal truth. Grant us the humility to say, I might be wrong. I might be missing something. There might be more to this story than I can see from where I stand. When we are certain we have the answer, remind us gently that certainty can be a kind of closing, a way of shutting out what might challenge or expand or deepen our understanding. Help us to listen more than we insist. Help us to ask more than we declare. Help us to remain open to correction, to new information, to the possibility that our view is incomplete. We know how easy it is to see the flaws in others and miss our own. We know how quick we are to judge from a distance what we have not lived or felt or experienced ourselves. When we find ourselves thinking we know better, help us pause. Help us remember that every person we encounter carries complexity we cannot fully grasp, carries history we have not witnessed, carries struggles we have not been asked to bear. Give us the grace to approach others with curiosity rather than judgment. Help us to wonder about their story instead of writing it for them. Help us to make space for perspectives that differ from our own without feeling threatened or diminished. When disagreement arises, help us to engage with patience and respect. Help us to separate the person from the position, to honor dignity, even in difference, to seek understanding even when agreement feels impossible. Teach us the wisdom of restraint. Teach us when to speak and when to stay silent. Teach us the difference between sharing insight and imposing our will. Help us to recognize that being right is not the same as being kind. Help us to value connection over correction. Help us to choose relationship over the need to win. We ask for softness in our certainties. We ask for flexibility in our convictions. We ask for the courage to change our minds when presented with something true that we had not previously considered. Protect us from the arrogance that comes with unchecked confidence. Protect us from the rigidity that refuses to bend. Protect us from the isolation that comes when we believe we alone have clarity. Help us to admit when we have spoken too quickly, assumed too much, misunderstood what was plainly before us. Give us the strength to apologize, to make amends, to take responsibility for the harm we cause, even unintentionally. As we move through this day, help us to be gentle with ourselves as well. Help us to recognize that we too are learning, growing, trying to find our way through questions that have no easy answers. When we stumble, when we react poorly, when we fail to live up to our own hopes for who we might be, grant us the grace of self-compassion. Help us to learn without drowning in shame. Help us to grow without being paralyzed by regret. Remind us that humility is not self-hatred. Remind us that acknowledging our limitations is not the same as believing we have no value. Remind us that we can be both imperfect and worthy, both flawed and loved. Help us to extend to ourselves the same patience we are trying to offer others. Help us to speak kindly to ourselves in the quiet moments when no one else is listening. Help us to forgive ourselves as we hope to be forgiven. We ask for wisdom in our choices today. Not perfect wisdom, not flawless discernment, but simply the willingness to pause and consider, to weigh our options with care, to think beyond our immediate desires to the impact of our actions. Guide us toward decisions that honor both ourselves and others. Guide us toward words that build up rather than tear down. Guide us toward actions that contribute to healing rather than harm. When we are faced with difficulty, help us to respond rather than react. Help us to breathe before we speak. Help us to choose our path with intention rather than impulse. Give us patience with the slow work of growth. Give us patience with processes that cannot be rushed. Give us patience with people who move at a different pace than we do. Help us to trust that not everything must be resolved today. Help us to rest in the unfinished, to live with questions that have no immediate answers, to allow room for uncertainty without panic. When we feel the urge to control what is not ours to control, help us to release our grip. Help us to distinguish between what we can influence and what we must accept. Help us to find peace in the difference. May we carry a spirit of generosity today. May we assume the best in others when possible. May we offer the benefit of the doubt before rushing to conclusions. Help us to notice the small opportunities for kindness that appear throughout our day. Help us to meet them with willingness and warmth. Help us to give freely without keeping score. May we be present to those who need us. May we listen with full attention. May we offer our time and care without resentment or distraction. And may we also know our limits. May we recognize when we have given all we can give. May we honor our own needs without guilt, trusting that taking care of ourselves is not selfishness, but necessary stewardship. As this prayer comes to a close, we hold all of this lightly. We do not demand perfection from ourselves today. We simply ask for willingness, for openness, for the courage to try. We are grateful for this time of quiet, for this chance to center ourselves, for this reminder that we do not walk through this day alone. May we go forward with steadiness and calm. May we meet what comes with grace. May we be gentle with ourselves and generous with others. May we remember that we are all learning, all growing, all doing our best with what we know and what we have been given. And may we find, in the midst of all we carry, small moments of peace, small reminders of goodness, small openings toward hope. We release this day into the care of something larger than ourselves, trusting that we will be held, guided, and sustained. Let us go now with quiet hearts. Let us begin.